conquer any terrain with the legendary reliability of Toyota, the absolute luxury of the new Land Cruiser VX, and the bold spirit of the Land Cruiser Prado, down to the raw power of our pickups, built to tackle any challenge. Whatever your lifestyle, your next destination starts with us. Visit us at GNPC Petrol Station, Fajara, or contact us at 200-0004 or 782-838-55. Asada Motors. Experience the excellence.
In today's world, speed matters, but slow internet can hold you back.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, members of the public watching from home, both here in the Gambia and in the diaspora. Good evening, members of the public here in this hall today. Good evening, members of the press and the technical team supporting this initiative. Welcome once again to the bi-weekly ministerial Mansa Kunda, brought to you by the Minister of Information, Media and to promote our mandate of promoting what we call proactive disclosure of information. The purpose of the Mansa Kunda initiative is to bring government officials, particularly sector ministers and their heads of agencies, to interface with the public so they can be accountable to the public. To tell the public how they are running their sectors, what are their programs and initiatives, but also for the public to get the opportunity to ask relevant questions to the public officials as to how the programs and initiatives can impact their lives. Today, we have a very important ministry, a ministry often underrated in terms of its importance. And that ministry is the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment, headed by the Honorable Minister, Ceesay. Honorable Minister, welcome to the Mansa Kunda. We thank you and your entire team for coming. At some point, I'll give you the opportunity to introduce your team. But for now, it's important for me to set the context of the Mansa Kunda. The President, His Excellency, has a vision for this country. And that vision is to transform the Gambia into a middle-income country. If you observe and pay attention to the interventions and investments that this government is doing, you are able to have an indication as to exactly where the President wants to take this country. Currently, two things are happening concurrently across multiple sectors. That is developing our human capital, which we think is critical for national development, but at the same time building critical infrastructure across multiple sectors. Sports infrastructure, health infrastructure, energy infrastructure, water infrastructure, you name it. Road infrastructure, education infrastructure, and so on and so forth. The President believes this is the foundation that will lead this country to full-scale industrialization, but also tapping into the potentials of the agri-industry. Today we have a ministry which is important, particularly on the side of trade and employment. With a country of having over 70% of our population are young people, and they need jobs. That is why our interventions go to ensuring that we build their skills and educate them, so they are fit for the labor market. The minister will help us understand and unpack his policies and programs and initiatives in his sector, but also in terms of investments as well. What is the ministry doing through GAIPA to promote investment in this country? Before I go, I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the presence of a few people. We have the Minister responsible for public service, Honorable Boy is here with us today. Deputy Chief of Staff, Office of the President, Mr. Gassama, Mr. Diba is also here with us today. Another senior government officials from Ministry of Information, Ministry of Trade, and other ministries as well, but also the Deputy Director of GRTS is also here with us today. And also we have some members of the diplomatic corps also present here from the Chinese Embassy, but also from the Embassy of Guinea-Bissau. We welcome you all and everyone else who's here. Mbadingol mbal kontona mbal tentula mbal jala nanying Mansa Kunda bemen sotale bi. Mansa Kunda konka the fakara fengo ya muta nyadile. Wana ni Mansa Kunda lokum fula nga minister killing fi nanjang ayna anim banko di ngol sikata. Fu asaf banko di ngole ala minister ba burindi kan nyadile aba tama aning ay banko dingol fana na fa kanyadile bari fana banko dingol sina si minister nyininka e fana isa fa mo la wasi ni la bata dalti bari fana ila miro banko nyen ka tama nyame wala na ngani Mansa Kunda nga create punyin kacha sikeno banko dingol ni Mansa Kunda tima bedung nga ministry kuma bale soto jambi ministry malon ko atel mararing jendan ja kulla wa froni sandiro anin do ko bunda aning industry bari aning kafunyomo ntolla Africa jamma fongo ka fay ko West Africa e ka fay regional integration minister dong e ka fay more cases honorable atel bijambi anala do ko nyol mi alon ko agency mi alon ko wolle ba ko to wolle nyaton kaya pour kanani banko dingol sikacha asa fo mole do ko ko abe kay nyaadi le mona ferol kaje ko funding kele do ko soto mana ferol kaje ko bagasol kana manke bitikol to bari fanan ida fanan sidia aning ala ferol pour kaje ko nyomo nyim banko te mi alon ko lebe jamma fa ngala asi namayano ko woto minister mbe jala programme to me mo be jala mi alon ko lebe jambi holo kono conference center ani banam pilben jube kan ka bo su kono nga mol so jami alon ko mo kuma bal ratam feño jambi na minister mi alon ko ate maren public service la bi janne bi deputy chief of staff bi janne Mansa Kunda do kula nyaton ko be jambi anna diplomatic community fana nata kam ma be jambi ani banko dingol be ani media bi jambi kana ani minister ka mbokay di len dalal ci suñu Mansa Kunda bi Mansa Kunda nak niñ ko dewa ministre ko jaglal askan bi si ndiglaay président Adama Barrow daf ñu wane bu ko réero am diggante askan bi ak nguur gi ba loo xam ne askan baa ko doytu seen xalaat seen pas-pas ak seen bébét nguur war na ko mën a yëg waaye nguur baa ko liggéey pour askan bi seen iine ak seen liggéey ak seeni pexe bëgg na askan bi yëg ko moo tax ñu jaglal askan bi Mansa Kunda bi nga xam ne semaine bu nekka wala ñaari semaine bu nekka ñuy si benn ki nga benn jawrin mu ñu toog jàkkaarloog askan bi ñu waxtaan ñu wax askan bi naka la ñoo doxalee seeni jawrin bi waaye tamit askan bi laaj leen li nga xam ne moom la ñoo doxalee seeni jawrin kon di leen dalal yéen ñëpp ñi fi nekk tey teew fii si hall bi ak ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi ñoo seetaan kër fii biir Gambie ak bitim réew di dalal nag ki nga xam ne mooy ministre Mor Ceesay ki nga xam ne moo jiitu jawriñ bi nga xam ne moom lañ dénka wàllu jënd ak jaay wàllu industrie mooy defar ay bas manufacturing ak wàllu jokkalante fii si Afrique jaw sant saw jant ak mi nga xam ne wàllu xëy moom tam moo ko amee mu nekk jawriñ bu yaatu nag mu ëmbali yëpp kon jawriñ bu am solo la te nag askan bi war na ñoo mën a xam mbiri jëndaan jaay naka la moo def mbiri bagage ñu bari ngi wax ne bagage cher na waaye ñun buñ seetee gis ne cher na waaye wàññeeku parce que soo seetee saaku maalo wàññee ak léegi wàññeeku na ñëpp xam nañ loolu mooy soble mooy pomme de terre mooy diwlin yëpp stabilise na te na ma leeral loolu noonu tey waaye tamit si wàllu xëy nan la nekk di def yan pexe la am pour ndaw yi mën a am xëy parce que ñëpp xam nañ ne tey téeméer gamen boo dajeel juróom ñaari fukk yëpp ndaw lañ kon tey dina ñëw waxtaan ak askan bi Mor Ceesay ñu ngi la dalal yaa sa àndandoo ñi nga xam ne sa liggéeyandoo ñi nga xam ne ñoom ñoo jiite sa agency si tey di la wax ne welcome to di Mansa Kunda xam nañ te moom lu bari im fa tey leeru doon tey dina leer moo njëriñu Mansa Kunda bi before we invite Honorable Mor Ceesay to the podium, important documentaries to play. One, achievements in this sector, and the second one is a specific project in the Senegambia corridor. We'll play those two. After that, we will get Mor Ceesay to come to the podium and then introduce his team. Then we'll take questions from the public. On that note, I thank you all, and I wish you all a fruitful evening. Thank you.
From big market to emerging industries, thousands of Gambians depend on commerce for their livelihoods. Across the country, the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment is implementing initiatives designed to strengthen the economy, support entrepreneurs, and expand the Gambia's participation in regional and global markets. These efforts are part of a broader national vision for economic transformation. The government is working to ensure that trade becomes a powerful drive of national development. Within this framework, the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment plays a central role in translating national policy into concrete programs that empower businesses and create jobs.
The portfolio under the ministry covers 4 areas: trade, industrial development, regional integration, and also employment creation. The National Development Plan enhances all of that in the objective of job creation. Trade creates employment, but industrial development also creates employment. All of this put together is a very neat process of packaging related economic activities to form a portfolio, all with the objective of making sure that jobs are created for Gambians and incomes are also provided for Gambians.
The plan recognizes that sustainable growth depends on strengthening institutions, improving the business environment, and creating opportunities for entrepreneurs across the country.
The modern business, why showcase be more the son, come marketing be more the son. Why be more do GCC, jël nañ suma business yóbbu ko international parce que amul fii rek fu ñu tukki di am rek dañ ma di yóbbu te loolu GCC ak Ministry of Trade ñoom ñoo def collabo boobu ba ñun ñu mun a am sañ-sañi dem.
Our mission is to empower women-owned, women-led businesses. We show them the benefits of being fully formalized so that when government advertises any opportunity, you'll be in a position to win contracts. Our biggest achievement there is the knowledge that these women gain going out. Because when they go, they see a different scenario from the Gambia. They learn from their peers. And some of the time, they also have new networks that they can work on.
We have been called to so many trade fairs, be it both international and local. We wish to bring back what we have learned and also see how we can incorporate it so that we can be stronger and better.
For businesses to compete locally and internationally, quality matters. The Gambia Standards Bureau is leading efforts to develop standards that ensure the safety, reliability, and competitiveness of Gambian products. More than 400 national standards have been developed to guide production, packaging, labeling, and safety requirements across export sectors. Through the National Metrology Laboratory, the Gambia's measurement system is now linked to international systems, ensuring accuracy in trade and certification. The National Quality Center is also expanding testing services to ensure imported and locally produced goods meet safety requirements.
There is a process, and that process within the conformity assessment, you inspect independently with its requirements, appropriate requirements. You test, of course, because you have to. If you do not test, there is no way you can demonstrate conformity. And then you certify. Certify is the proof, either by a mark or a certificate that this product meets the requirements. I can say with a great deal of satisfaction and a great deal of humbleness that now we have a certification body that has been internationally recognized to certify products to ensure their quality and safety.
Certification and quality assurance are helping local industries reach new markets. One milestone achievement is the certification of the country's first national company under the National Certification Body.
We are the first Gambian company to be HACCP certified. That's the Hazards Analysis Critical Control. So we have our certification, and that was one of our goals. We want to create more employment. As of right now, we have 70 employees, and 95% of that is women and youth. We're looking to expand to 350 employees. full capacity of the processing facility, and also have the made in Gambia cashews all over the world.
We train exporters in terms of what we call export readiness programs. This enables them to try to meet the requirements, because we have to understand each country, each trading bloc has their own requirements, particularly relating to health and hygiene. And this is where we launch training programs with potential exporters to ensure that they meet the requirements of those countries so that they can enhance their export capabilities and drive their volumes.
Beyond strengthening trade institutions, the ministry is also investing in people. Through the ECOWAS Spain Integration and Development Fund, programs are helping young Gambians in employment and build sustainable livelihoods. The initiative aims to reduce poverty and limit the negative impacts of irregular migration by creating opportunities at home.
The ECOWAS has come to support the government of the Gambia to provide employment opportunities, but through that to also ensure skill training for young people, be it entrepreneurship or TVET. These are the training that provide them opportunities for the labor market entry, and then to also provide them counseling, just so that at least we'll be able to impact on their mindset regarding irregular pathways. The government has also chosen a program called the Bilateral Labor Agreement. This to ensure that at least we engage countries of destination where our young people are going to facilitate the movement of young people. This is just so that at least the agitation that is on the increase in terms of moving, young people moving out of this country, we try to bring it down, and then either you focus on national development, taking part in the labor market here, or even whereas you have to go, you go with a skill, then you do not become a liability in those destinations.
Akaba ku comme Adam Barrow ning Spain Prime Minister kabri ñu ko kacha ko na rafindi na ra fomo samana dol fa na ra bula ko fomo ni nga soro na ra document ni ka ngol fa nang bi try ngol soro ngol summit labor department on the Minister of Trade after ina ra process on yinke pour kata Spain no ko ya yenta no ko ben sambala pour kata do ko la sama do ko la yo ban don na da nga tara wala be barin be yirdin katon tara tara be kering anin ka yirbulo tala o ma ko la because anin tara dunia karaw ka ni nga sifa mbalo na ko nane nyenkele sa da kala mbul bata bate.
The Gambia is also positioning itself to benefit from Africa's largest trading bloc, the African Continental Free Trade Area. Through the AFCFTA implementation strategy, the government and private sector stakeholders are working together to expand trade opportunities across the continent.
The Africa Continental Free Trade Area, known as AFTA, simply means one market for Africa, such that you'll be able to have transparent and competitive market environment. In that way, it doesn't matter where you would locate businesses or where you would locate industries. You can locate Gambia and compete fairly with industries in Senegal or elsewhere on the continent. The primary objective really is to have a level playing field for industries and businesses that are located in the continent to enhance market integration in Africa and access to essential goods that is required by the continent, but also position our local businesses and local entities in Africa to be able to compete fairly with their contemporaries outside the continent.
Improving infrastructure is another priority.
Adoko sila asone atale. Kantu wotumo nka doko kenum bantale. Nka nye samba suela kono nka doko je. Sila nata fo ye nyimbu ngolo nyeja. Fo nata project jama soto kono ala tentu. Ay mako ile kantu ko ni ya amira. Ni be doko la bukono. Ibe jio jonkila ji. Ni nsisi o wulta. Ise toto fo imale se kenyawe. Bar nyindo le kipni le. Nka doko keno freely mol katara sirim bungo kan. Ay mako jata kende ato. Ay mako wafero fana na karo. Mansakunda nge jai nge tentu. Ba ni ajentol be project ko soto nga mol soto mansakunda min benjibe kan koma. Ni mammo soto min benjibe kan koma. To nya nga min soto nta soto.
In the lower river region, the modernization of the Wellingara Lumo market is creating a more conducive environment for traders.
njëriñ luuma comme 70% lu maa nekk di export lu ñu dee jàppale mooy di nga gis béykat yi bëri yang fa si luuma bi la gaa yi gis seen bagage yi ñun tam suñu jógee fi ñu dem ñu dajee gaa si luuma bi dafa easy ñoom sorul si gaa yi ñu dem sorul si ñun luuma bi moo nekk si centre bi daal luuma njëriñ bu gaa yi am mooy business trade bi daal daf ko dee easy parce que dafa fekk bagage su manqué Gambie fii Sénégal da nga ko dee mën a indi su manqué Sénégal tamit Gambie da nga ko dee mën a indi daf dee nekk suñu media la daal suñu digga si diggante bi la nekk
New market sheds, pavement and solar-powered borehole are already supporting local economic activity with additional improvements planned to further enhance the facility.
Luma wax dëgg Yàlla dafa salte woon amuñu woon ndox ñu ne mbaam yi ak fas yi ak nag yi ñoo doon jànkatoo ci biir da ngay xëy si war a lal nga fekk sa place ñu ngi ko dem duus xam nga loolu itam doxul il faut nga bale raxas te loolu tam da ngay génn dem rooti waaye biñ sampee mbaari sant yàlla am nañ ndox ñu ngi kontaan ba dañuy root ci robinet yi naan dañuy root ragal suñ bagage yi dañuy jàpp foofu luñ bëgg moom ñu def ci ndox mi ñu ngi sant yàlla bu baax ci affaire ndox bi ñu ngi sant yàlla bu baax wax dëgg yàlla kii kër bu sell bi tamit léegi ñu ngi sant yàlla bu baax wax dëgg yàlla am nañ ci mbette torop nag torop biñ defaree marché bi ba léegi suñu njaay mi dafa gën a yokku waaw ñu ngi si am jàpp.
The government is planning a transformation project, the Trans-Gambia Corridor Special Economic Zone, strategically located along a major regional transport corridor. The zone is designed to become a logistic hub and manufacturing center that attracts investment and stimulates job creation.
The Special Economic Zone will serve as an anchor project. We want to do this low-tech manufacturing in this place, and we also have agro-processing, soil and oil processing. So basically, it have different compartments of manufacturing. Those are the type of investment as well as logistics. We also want to have these logistics hubs. We also want to have issues like data center, renewable energy. So these are all forms of investments that are also planned and compartmentalized in the special economic zone. In a nutshell, there will be a lot of jobs, directly and indirect jobs. The target is 96 to 100,000, but I'm sure it can go way beyond that.
Ensuring fair markets is equally important. The Gambia Competition and Consumer Protection Commission is strengthening regulations to prevent unfair practices and protect consumers. Recent initiatives include actions against excessive pricing of essential health products and efforts to ensure seamless integration between mobile wallets, allowing consumers to transfer funds across platforms more easily.
Among competition consumer protection authorities within the region, even in the world, we are one of the few ones that do day-to-day thorough market surveillance, in the sense that periodically or bi-weekly, we actually go to the marketplaces to interview businesses, consumers. This helps us to detect issues prior to them happening. Instead of being reactive, we have been more proactive. Reasonably, I think we've been trying a lot, especially if you look at the prices in the Gambia and compare it within the sub-region. You can see it's still relatively cheaper in the Gambia because of some of the proactive measures we are taking as a commission to ensure that at least consumers get a fair deal. Because the way this thing works is once you ensure there is fair competition in the market, the prices take care of themselves. We saw this wave coming at least 3, 4, 5 years ago. We did a banking study at that time, and one of the things we observed is these things are coming. Countries like Kenya, a decade ago, they were a norm. So we saw that gradually it's going to come. So since then, we've been advocating to ensure that when these things come, that their services and the platforms are interoperable. We thank God and we thank the Central Bank of the Gambia and GamSwitch, which are now implementing for it to be interoperable. That means, for instance, a bank app and a digital wallet can be interconnected in such a way that consumers will not have to withdraw from the bank and go and deposit at the wallet, or withdraw from the wallet and go and queue at bank's deposit. It saves a lot of time and also helps a lot when it comes to having a cashless economy.
From strengthening standards and supporting entrepreneurs to expanding regional trade and protecting consumers, these initiatives are shaping a more resilient and competitive economy as the Gambia continues to integrate into regional and global markets. investment in trade, innovation, and human capital are creating new opportunities for businesses and communities.
Important project that the Gambia government is embarking on, is planning to embark on. It is called the Trans-Gambia Corridor, trade infrastructure, and a special economic zone. The purpose of this project is to promote trade and investment, but also boost industrial production, which in turn obviously will provide jobs, and jobs will help the economy grow. When the economy grows, you invest these things in people. When you invest in your people, they live in dignity, and your country develops. The next video will now give us a hint of what that project is. Thank you.
The Gambia, known as the smiling coast of Africa, is situated along the Atlantic coast with an economy primarily based on agriculture and tourism, with a diverse ecosystem surrounding the Gambia River. The Green Reef Focus National Development Plan emphasized the need of private sector development as the engine of growth. The Gambia government, having its ambitious plan of developing the Trans-Gambia Corridor, has initiated the development of trade infrastructure and special economic zone with the three major objectives: economic impact assessment of the Trans-Gambia Corridor, GIS-based spatial development plan, and corridor development investment plan. In line with the vision of developing the Trans-Gambia Corridor, a comprehensive GIS mapping is done identifying the project influence zones, categorized into primary, secondary, tertiary, and extended catchment areas, which encompasses the entire Gambia, and ensuring balanced industrialization and economic development across the nation. The Trans-Gambia Corridor, a 26-kilometer stretch from Farafenni in the north to Masira in the south, crosses the Gambia River via the Senegambia Bridge, serving as a strategic trade link in the center of the Gambia. The Special Economic Zone site is strategically located in Soma along the Trans-Gambia Corridor on either side at 1.5 kilometers from the Masira border post to leverage the existing social and commercial infrastructure. Parcel A comprises the agriculture and other manufacturing zones, featuring seamless compatibility and shared infrastructure, while Parcel B includes the social, commercial, community, training, and capacity building zones, with provisions for future development. The prioritized value chains and sectors for processing in the Trans-Gambia Corridor Special Economic Zone aligns well with the strategies, policies, and development plans of the Gambia's government and relevant line ministries, apart from consideration for import substitution and export enhancing activities. The prioritized sector for processing includes light engineering and construction material processing zone, cereals, pulses and oil seeds, fruits, vegetables and tubers, processing zone, agroforestry and other agro products, processing zone, livestock processing zone, general manufacturing zone, including apparel, automotive, chemical and pharma and others, fisheries processing zone, dairy products processing zone, specialized infrastructure, agricultural transformation center, utility zone, non-processing zones. The zones within the special economic zone have been meticulously configured to leverage the Gambia's opportunities and core strengths. Inclusiveness is ensured with provisions for accommodating micro, mini, small, women entrepreneurs, first-generation promoters, medium enterprises, large-scale manufacturing industries, along with its ancillary byproduct manufacturing, value-added processing units. Various options ensured with plotted developments, one-time long lease, rentals or ready-built, plug-and-play facilities and multi-tenanted buildings or PEBs, based on individual sector potential and preferences. The master plan offers a flexible and modular approach, adapting to the site's topography while ensuring ease of implementation, minimal environmental impact, and cost optimization during both the implementation and operational phases. The detailed components of the master plan are water treatment plant, overhead tank, logistics zone, truck maintenance depot and fuel station, light engineering and construction material processing zone, cereals, pulses and oil seeds processing zone, specialized infrastructure, fruits, vegetable and tubers processing zone, agroforestry and other agro products processing zone, dairy products processing zone, general manufacturing zone and other industries zone, livestock processing zone, sewage treatment plant, solid management, agricultural transformation center, substation, residential zone, social and public amenities zone, demo farms, training, research and development zone, future expansion zone, collection and pre-processing centers, fish aggregation centers are located at strategic locations to collect the produced commodities in rural catchment areas, ensuring sustained supply of raw materials to the special economic zone in terms of quality and quantity. A GIS-based spatial development master plan for the primary influence zone of TGC is prepared, highlighting the proposed components and projects envisioned for development within the 50 by 26 kilometre stretch. The Spatial Development Master Plan considers the existing context, land suitability, connectivity, and environmentally sensitive areas. The plan is phased with an initial focus on economic development through the TGC SEZ as the anchor project, followed by social, commercial, and community development, and later the creation of tourism and eco-recreational zones alongside enabling infrastructure with an emphasis on sustainable transportation solutions, including the proposal for a second airport in the Gambia. The project aims to offer a progressive business environment with diverse, investor-friendly opportunities. Once the comprehensive Trans-Gambia Corridor Development Plan is put into action, it is anticipated to generate $606 million in annual transactions and create approximately 100,000 direct and indirect employment opportunities. Under the able leadership of the President, His Excellency Adama Barrow, and Minister of Trade and Industry Honourable Babukar O. Diouf, the government of the Gambia is poised to implement this Trans-Gambia development project, aiming to drive industrialisation, economic transformation, enhancing food security, thereby creating job opportunities, empowering women and youth, marking a revolutionary step in the Gambia's growth journey. Come and join in this journey for creating.
Just imagined. It is created right before your eyes. Stop dreaming. Welcome to Asada Motors. Experience the future of driving with the cutting-edge electric technology and unmatched elegance of J-Tour. Conquer any terrain with the legendary reliability of Toyota, the absolute luxury of the new Land Cruiser VX, and the bold spirit of the Land Cruiser Prado, down to the raw power of our pickups, built to tackle any challenge. Whatever your lifestyle, your next destination starts with us. Visit us at GNPC Petrol Station, Fajara, or contact us at 200-0004 or 782-838-55. Asada Motors. Experience the excellence.
In today's world, speed matters. Internet back. Now, the future of connectivity arrived in the Gambia. QCell's Q-Fiber. Ultra-fast, ultra-reliable internet designed where you live. Stream your favorite shows without buffering. Partners with seamless video calls. Study, work, and play online like never before. From homes to businesses, QCell Fiber is connecting the Gambia to the future. Q-Fiber. Call 145-300-3779. QCell. We innovate, others follow.
Company, sharing happiness, made in the...
Thank you very much, technical team. Government, they say, is a continuity. Therefore, even though it was Honorable Babukar Diouf, as former Minister of Trade, who started this project, perhaps it will be Honorable Minister Morke Ceesay who will finally launch the project. Now, with this project that we just saw, if it comes into fruition, it will not only transform trade in the Gambia, but also across the entire sub-region. Honorable Minister, maybe your first intervention will be to tell us exactly what is the state of this project and when will His Excellency, President Adama Barrow, go and cut the ribbon for this very magnificent infrastructural artifact. Now, the floor is yours. My job is done. More than Guinea, Yanangini.
Ismaila Jerejef, and I think you're absolutely right. Project bi rek dafa doy si mandate of His Excellency the President. And when I said the second mandate, I'm not counting the first mandate because we were struggling. First and second mandate, and I think this project, which is over between $625 to $1 billion investment program, will be central in the next mandate of His Excellency the President, and I'll tell you why. But before doing that also, I want to appreciate and thank our main sponsors, QCell, Asata, as well as Bell Bottling Company for sponsoring this this program. And on behalf of the organizers, my colleague, I'd want to appreciate and thank them profoundly. But before I also go any further, I want to make key recognitions. I would want to start with the our business partners, or the partner business community here represented. All of them. Please give them a round of applause. It's because of them that we are here, and it's because of them that we roll our sleeves and go to work every day. Because we know they are our true partners. If they succeed, we succeed. So I want to thank them profoundly. Thank you also, Honorable Minister Babukar Boy, my dear brother, and of course, the Deputy Chief of Staff, Mr. Diba, who is also my younger brother, Permanent Secretaries and Deputy Permanent Secretary, Abdullahi, representing the Permanent Secretary here, line heads such as Papa Seka, DG Basurinjai, CEO Usainu Senghor of Gaipa, Commissioner of Labor, Nyalo Barrow, senior staff of the ministries here present, of course, DPS, Admin and Finance, Mariama Fofana also is present, senior officials of government, students, and brothers, the diplomatic communities. I can see the Chinese embassy staff, as well as other diplomatic staff in our midst today, and I want to thank them profoundly. Our dear sisters and family members watching both here and at home. I am really honored to stand before you today to account on behalf of the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Integration and Employment for the work we have undertaken since we last met at this platform. Government commitment to transparency and to keeping the Gambian people informed of the progress we are making remain priority. And this Bantaba is one more expression of that. The Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment is mandated to design and implement policies that drive trade, investment, industry, and employment. Positioning trade is an engine of growth as enshrined in the National Development Plan. It promotes private sector development, supports national quality infrastructure, and MSMEs advocate reform for a competitive business environment, and leads the Gambia participation in regional, continental, and multilateral trade negotiations and organizations. Since our last engagement in this Bantaba, under the leadership of Honorable Babukar Ismaila Juf, who I want to acknowledge and thank, has undertaken and accelerated a number of reforms aimed at transforming the Gambia into a more competitive, industrialized, and investment-driven economy. Our focus across every department has remained the same: to build a better business environment, to strengthen our industries, to promote what we produce at home, attract quality investment, create decent jobs for our people, and ensure that Gambian businesses benefit fully from global trade and the Gambia a hub for investment. Allow me to take you through what we have achieved in the last 8 months of office. Under this directorate, the ministry continue to monitor the stock and prices of essential commodities as per Essential Commodities Act 2015. As you are aware, global supply disruption continue to threaten international trade and market. To cushion the effect of domestic prices, government, through my ministry, that's the Department of Trade, has taken a number of measures aimed at cushioning prices. Government continue to facilitate priority berthing for vessels at the Port of Banjul, now renamed Al Port Banjul, carrying essential goods. We have also strengthened our collaboration with trading partners, home and abroad, to assess supply of essential commodities at competitive prices globally, invoking special trading protocols. Recently, government has signed an MOU with the government of Pakistan to ensure our businesses seek source rice from Pakistan at competitive prices, while also inducing commercial investment from Pakistan to the Gambia. The government have also strengthened trade cooperation with our neighboring countries as part of efforts to create opportunities to expand trade for the Gambia. We signed trade and transit cooperation agreements with Senegal, Guinea-Bissau, Sierra Leone, the Republic of Guinea. Gambian businesses can of these opportunities under these bilateral agreements, in addition to the regional opportunities such as the ECOWAS Trade Liberalization Scheme. Our friendship with the People's Republic of China continues to bear fruit. On the China duty-free, quota-free scheme, covering 98% of tariff lines, we signed protocol on groundnut and cashew export last year, and 16 Gambian companies are now registered to export to China market. After Africa Free Trade Area is now operational, and Gambia businesses can take advantage of the larger continental market. Under the scheme, the Gambia's provisional tariff concession have been gazetted. We have also submitted all required documents for trade in goods to AFTA Secretariat, and GRA has created the custom processing code for the smooth implementation of the agreement. Under the Sea Trade Gambia Hub program, the ministry is supporting 181 own businesses with training, market access, digital skill, including vocational training, extended to 35 female inmates at Mile 2 prison, giving them a path to rehabilitation, dignity, and livelihood beyond the prison wall. On the multilateral stage, I am pleased that the Gambia successfully completed its fourth trade policy review at the World Trade Organization in Geneva this February, under my leadership in fulfillment of an important statutory requirement of member states under the multilateral trading system to enhance transparency and well-functioning, predictable global trade and a national trade environment that better attract foreign direct investment. Employment and labor administration. We are implementing the bilateral labor agreement with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, where over 120 Gambian domestic workers have been deployed since 2025. 29 workers, however, have returned home, mainly for health-related reason claim. As a result, we are strengthening pre-departure preparation, health screening, and welfare monitoring so that every Gambian who travel for work abroad does so and return home safely. Similarly, the circular migration scheme with the Kingdom of Spain, we continue to engage our Spanish partners directly, and I am pleased to report that it has reaffirmed its commitment to the program. The 6 returnees from the first batch have been given 1-year visas and left to Spain 2 weeks ago. The second batch of 50 workers are now being processed and awaiting clearance to leave. The 2026 first quarter labor force survey showed promising results. The labor force participation rate increased from 43.6% to 54.5%. The employment to population ratio increased from 40.3% to 51.1%. Unemployment also decreased from 7.6% to 6.2% in 2026. The government will continue to implement policy measures, promote investment, and support private sector development to enhance employment creation. On the industry investment and SMEs, with regard to the industry investment, in the Gambia, SMEs continue to form the backbone of our economy. The government is in the final stage of the launching of the digital single window business registration system in collaboration with UNTAD and the Ministry of Justice. The reactivation of the system will make it easier to start a business in this country. It will encourage finalization. It will encourage finalization in the economy, as well as facilitate business registration for MSMEs outside the Greater Banjul area. Trans-Gambia Special Economic Zone is fast becoming one of the most transformative economic projects in our history, and the numbers backed it up. With a feasibility study confirming an impressive 23% internal rate of return, we are working hand in hand with the African Development Bank to mobilize financing. Land valuation and compensation assessment for affected landowners is completed and programmed in the budget 2027. Momentum is building fast, and a project implementation unit has been established and housed at GAIPA to drive this initiative forward. We have secured commitment from the African Development Bank to operationalize the PIU and bring on board critical technical experts, including transaction advisors, to assist in the zone private developer identification and selection. The World Bank has stepped up as well, committing to support the draft legislation needed to bring this project to life, and talks with the Green Climate Fund are ongoing to back climate-smart, resilient infrastructure investment attraction in the economic business zone.
The initial response has been electric. We are seeing genuine wave of interest, both local and foreign investors, eager to be part of this landmark development as shown in the television. Right now, the PIU is hard at work laying the foundation for executive buildings, out annual work plans, and finalizing terms of reference for the developer and transaction advisor through robust public-private partnership framework. This is more than a statement of intent by His Excellency the President. The Trans-Gambia Corridor is on its way to becoming a flagship model for regional integration and economic transformation for the Gambia. May we all live to witness. Say amen, please. The ministry has validated our national industry and diversification strategy and developed Made in the Gambia strategy, champion locally produced good innovations. Currently, government has made progress in promoting private sector investment in local industries, particularly in manufacturing and agro-processing. Government measures in the cement industries, agriculture and agro-processing are helping to stabilize supply and prices. In partnership with the UNIDO, the ministry has completed the establishment of food and light testing laboratories and launched 2 new projects, including cold chain initiative, that will reduce post-harvest losses for our rural farmers. A video will show progress shortly, which we have just actually watched. The Gambia draw full benefit of ECOWAS. We have developed jointly with the Ministries of Health, Higher Education, a National Human Capital Development Strategy for 2024 to 2030, now being implemented. The ministry constructed Lumo border market in Wellingara, Bureng, and handed it over to the village committees on 17th of June this year. The newly constructed Lumo market provides the community with the sanitation, hygiene, security, and good environment conducive for trade facilitation, just where we have been shown on television just now. Under the ECOWAS Fistula program, MOTA is working with the Ministry of Health, Gender, Children and Social Welfare for the refurbishment of Fistula ward at Mansa Hospital, which is near completion. We salute the great work done by the FAF Foundation in Bansang Hospital. May the Lord reward the First Lady for this particular work. The ministry, in partnership with the Gambia Red Cross Society, support the delivery of round 2 of cash transfer in 2025 to flood victims, internally displaced persons, refugees, and install solar power boreholes in Demban, Sibanor, and Jikes. The Gambia Standard Bureau. The Standard Bureau now developed close to 500 national standards. 30 of them focus on food and agriculture. Over 700 personnel from our MSMEs and 300 technical experts have been trained, and we now have 20 internationally certified lead auditors who are Gambian, and we no longer need to rely on foreign consultants. The Legal Metrology Act 2025 has replaced a law that stood since 1977, and this past groundnut season alone, over 200 cycle scales were verified and 11 weight bridges calibrated to protect fairness of trade for our farmers. In December 2025, we accredited the Gambia First National Certification Body, opening doors to international markets that were previously closed to Gambia. Gambia Competition and Consumer Protection Commission. On competition and consumer protection issues, the Commission has been equally active. The Commission is amending its Competition Act 2007 and the Consumer Protection Act 2014 and developing a new merger control regulation. The Commission has worked on market studies on our foreign exchange market, cement market, and consumer behavior, and acted decisively, addressing excessive pricing in the onion market, and we are now investigating the mayonnaise market. Between January and March this year alone, Commission resolved $846,850 of consumer complaints, more than half through swift alternative dispute resolution. And this June, we are proud to open 2 new regional offices in Basse and Farafenye, bringing this protection closer to rural government. The Basse office, with support from Governor's Office, acted swiftly to reverse calculated effort by unilateral increase of bread prices in the region just this week. Gambia Investment and Export Promotion Agency. I think we have talked a lot about, and the video has spoken for itself. Notwithstanding, if I skip this, Oceano will kill me. But let me just say on one particular important area, over 450 MSMEs are now receiving targeted support, particularly benefiting our women and young entrepreneurs. Through our digital mapping exercise, we are bringing over 350 enterprises in rice, poultry, maize, cashew, horticulture into a national geodatabase that will unlock financing and market access. The agency institutional reform continued through building resilience for inclusive development and growth for enterprises, with key focus on institutional policies, capacity building, and ICT support, including one-stop digital investment platform. I am also pleased to confirm that the review of the GAIPA Act 2015 is now completed with a sustainable funding mechanism already gazetted to secure the agency's future with a view, with a new and permanent headquarters construction near completion and ready for inauguration next month. I hope Useni will not fail me. On industrial and economic zone, further to the SES earlier showcase just here, in LRL, GAIPA continued to focus on implementing the Land for Investment Program and advancing strategic industrial zone, facilitation for agricultural investment in the Central River Region and Upper River Region. This is in addition to the SEZ. Further efforts are being made to locate land for industrial development and investment in West Coast Region and Lower River Region. The agency also coordinating with technical assessment of existing industrial estate, strengthen collaboration with national institutions, sensitize businesses in key industrial sites on new investment and export promotion fees regulation 2026. And I read this having in mind what we just seen along the Banjul-Serekunda highway on the right. Closing, what I have shared with you today is the Ministry of Work, is a ministry at work across trade, industry, employment, regional integration, and standard and consumer protection, all pulling in one direction. A more competitive, more industrialized, and more inclusive Gambian economy. I can assure you that this ministry and every directorate and agency under it remain focused, accountable, and committed to the people of this country. I thank you for your kind attention.
It's still your turn. I just want to say now it's time for Q&A. Ask your questions in any language of your choice. If you ask in a language, he's bound to answer in that language. And keep your questions short. We'll take 3 from this end. And he'll respond to those ones, and 3 from this end until we exhaust all the questions. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Isa Tukote from Jara News Media. So, Honorable Minister, my question is, your ministry has reportedly emphasized job creation as a national priority. Can you highlight the major employment opportunity your ministry has created over the past years? And what new initiatives are being introduced to ensure more Gambian youths and women secure decent and sustainable jobs? My other question is, many Gambians are concerned about the rising cost of living and the challenges facing local businesses. What concrete measures is your ministry taking to promote local industries, attract investment, strengthen regional trade, and ultimately reduce the cost of essential goods for ordinary Gambians? Thank you.
Can you introduce yourself? Another one? Name, please.
Next question. Yeah, anyone? Anyone on this side? No one? Then we go to that side.
No. Okay, good evening to you all. Honorable Minister, I'm from LRR, Jara East District. I want to say thank you for bringing that development to our district. We are really grateful for that. Okay, to my questions. Like, in light of recent findings reported on July 23rd by Fatu Network, indicating that approximately 22.6% of the local rice samples tested in Dakar contain cancer-leak toxins. So my question will be, what immediate measures and joint cross-border inspection protocols is your ministry doing or did in cooperation with regional trade partners implementing to ensure that imported and exported grain supplies entering our domestic and local markets meet heavy-handed quality and safety standards? Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Fatimata Sajo Baro, Information Minister, Iowa SU. Honorable Minister, my question would be, what opportunities students to engage directly with the ministry through events, workshop, or policy discussions?
Okay, thank you so much. Afternoon. All the headwinds and all the difficulties that we have, logistic challenges, and overseas price increases. In the Gambia, prices have been coming down, and we have seen that, and we can all attest to this in the last couple of months. So that is significant. What is it that we are doing in the Gambia? Who is actually a net importer that we are able to actually bring down the prices? Thanks to government. A lot of the revenue that was supposed to go to government revenue, we have forgone it through subsidies and support. And we didn't stop there. Also, we accompany our industrialists and we also accompany our farmers in making sure that job creation and employment is available for our youth. It's not enough. Because in the number of youth that we graduate on an annual basis is a lot. And yes, there is also the outpost to go to Europe and elsewhere. But yes, they will go, and we are doing our utmost through the circular migration, which is a safe pathway to travel and also gain employment. But also partnership with our Asian brothers and sisters in Saudi Arabia, that we are creating this job employment opportunities also for our people. So that's something that we also have to continue to push. I think I would also call on. You want to answer on question relating to the job numbers?
I think what I want to add on to, if you look at within the first half of the year, what we have registered for investment that range from 3 to 5 years, we are registered about $110 million, of which, if implemented, the projected jobs is going to be about 3,400 jobs. And already some of these projects are ongoing. Some have already started operational. For example, if you take the Bereto one, it's already operational, and they've already employed the targeted jobs that they stated. And this investment comes in agriculture, tourism, manufacturing, as well as ICT. So this is what I wanted to add to that. Already within this year, there is a potential of an additional 3,400 jobs from investment created by the private sector. Thank you. And these are direct jobs.
Quickly on the discovery of infected rice, somebody talked about it as reported by FATU Network, July 23rd. I think the relevant offices and the relevant agencies of government are watching and monitoring. I cannot confirm because it's coming from social media. It's not coming in the mainstream, but I believe the responsible entities and responsible agencies of government are also monitoring the development and watching very carefully. And we are also behind the scene working with our Senegalese colleagues to identify if this is true, what is the brand and the category of the rice that is affected, so that we can also continue to surveillance and monitor the entrance or the entry of this particular rice commodity in our market. Thank you.
Quickly, on this question, even though you mentioned that it's not established yet, the food safety lab, the new one at Bruceby, will it be of any help to detect contaminated food coming into this country, like rice?
Again, I think government vision is exactly along that direction. The reason why we established these labs was in anticipation of this kind of situation. A modern lab has been established in this country, which is able to now test and also confirm or otherwise incidences of this happening. But again, like I said, it's still unconfirmed to the extent that it's still reported in the social media, not in the mainstream media. And we have not also seen evidence of it yet. But I think we are very much ready through the existence of these particular laboratories and also our surveillance mechanism through FSQA to making sure that we will detect and also provide necessary safeguards should this become a problem.
All right, good evening. My name is Adam Anjay. I'm from Niger, but a student at the University of the Gambia. My question will be like, first to be a scenario I want to explain, that is to labor. There is this group of people, the drivers, these taxi baggage drivers, who are businessmen in the industry, especially Gimpex area and the like. So this particular group, they are employed as drivers. But now the load that they carry, in fact, it is attached into the employment condition that if you take the job as a driver, then obviously the load also you have to offload it. Like the chicken, those who transport chicken, for example. So some of them, they said they went and complained to the labor office, and then they keep on going. Then they were told that if you cannot do the job, better leave it and then allow somebody to take it. Which I believe the ministry or the labor office should have done things better, because that should not be a condition. And for the benefit of employment creation, there could be then, okay, you can employ a driver to drive, but then also allow somebody who doesn't have the job to offload so that the person can benefit also. That can expand the job creation. That is my point, and I want the minister to elaborate on that. My question is, what is the legal tool there that protects this individual? Yes. Thank you.
Acha jërëjëf maa ngi leen di nuyu ku nekk turam ak santam maam ji bi ñaari laaj la am benn bi wàllu employment dégg nañ ministre bi ñu ngi wax employment yokk na ci réew mi waaye buñ bàyyee xel ci minimum salary wage bu Gambia bi nga xam ne tey boo xoolee loi bi li fa tënku $4.50 lañ ne mooy wareefu xëykat bu ne ci loi yi réew mi ndax ministre bi wala nguur gi ñu ngi ciy def ay jéem ba soppeem ci xam nañ ne $4.50 daanaka li mun a am léegi ci réew mi bareetul xëj na buñ xoolee ci public sector bi bu ñuy wax increasement of salary lu ci bari ñoom mun nañ koo gis waaye mostly private sector bi dañuy xayma minimum salary wage ba ñu bari li ñuy fayeeku ci biir réew mi daanaka mënut a faj seen soxla lan la ci ministre bi di def beneen bi mooy wàllu li nga xam ne moom moo nekk price control. all the time ne niñ gisee price ni muy demee ci biir réew mi dafa jéggi dayoo lan la ci ministre bi di def jërë ngeen jëf.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mustafa Ijeng, Deputy Sport Minister of Iowa. So my question is, Honorable Minister, what is your ministry doing in order to increase the exportation of Gambian-made products?
Adamanja talked about issue of taxi drivers to do multitasking. I think to the extent that it's a labor contract, there must be some understanding reached between the two parties. And I know this is in the informal sector and usually perhaps is not supported by a contract, a formal contract. But I'm sure they must have discussed and agree and come to terms somehow. Multitasking is increasingly being encouraged in the labor industry and in the labor market. And that's why people are now being encouraged to be polyvalent, not to only tie yourself to a single trade. But I think between a labor contract is contracted within the framework of an agreement. If the two parties agree beforehand on job responsibility and a corresponding wage or pay, then it should be judged along that limit. But it is completely wrong to assign somebody a responsibility that was not priorly agreed or for which no compensation have been discussed and agreed beforehand. But luckily, we have also my brother here, Babukar Boy, who is very much of a with respect to employment and labor matters. But also Nyalo Baro is also here, who may also want to shed light in terms of multitasking and multi responsibilities that are given and do happen from time to time. Mamjibi momuge wambiri that yes, minimum salary or minimum wage in this country. And in his judgment, Dafatuti Munta is below the living wage. What is required for it? Again, then he suggested price control rather than the liberal market or free market that currently we now have. Again, luckily, just responsibility small Mungfi, Babukar, he can set light with respect to the minimum wage and but the minimum wage as we understand it is that started in the public sector. And the idea is that the private sector would then benchmark but we don't have it as a legal responsibility to impose it to them at this stage, but we want them to follow. Government set the standards, and we want the private sector to follow. But to his point, even what government have determined today is also not sufficient for a decent living. Basically, that is his judgment. Then the worrying part is that he then suggested a price control as a response. I think I would disagree. As far as we are concerned, there shouldn't be a price control. What we are saying is market control. Let's go to the market and regulate it, but not the price. But if the market is regulated in a way and manner that there is competition, there is no collusion, the safeguards are there, the mechanism of measurements and all of those things are there, then there's price control, comme nous ko waxee, pour ñu control price, ñun nekkuñ di encourage loolu. Ñun lu ñu encourage mooy ne market bi dafa war a free, nga xam ne jongante am na si marché bi, lépp loo xam ne ñu ngi ko faa jaay, xayma nañ ko, jaar na si yoon, bari na, ba pare daan ba juboo si ñoomi nee ni ay traders amut. Dinañ mun na de loolu na introduce competition boo xam ne price bi du jar nga koy control. Price control gisoon nañ ko fi ak gisoon nañ fi yàqu-yàqu bu mu am in the 80s. Te fooguma ne is in anybody's interest ñu war a introduce at price control. Na marché bi dox, njëggi ñu compete, ñu war a saytu biir marché bi ñu mel ni Gambia Competition and Consumer Protection make sure ne jongante am na, quality am na, yooyu noonu yëpp loo xam ne daal la am nañu ko saytu, waaye price control moom at this stage moom ñun xelaatuñ ko parce que gis nañ tamit bu fi am yàqu-yàqu bu mu am fii nii. Babacar, if you want to help. Okay, then if that is the case, then that's fine then. Mustafa talks about Mustafa Jeng, so I want to repeat that question, B.
Yes. My question was, what is your ministry doing in order to increase the protection of Gambian-made products?
Made in the Gambia export. Well, in my statement, I have just indicated a strategy and how we are working with, first, trying to attract foreign investment to make sure that at least we begin to produce in the Gambia, but also support Gambian indigenous businesses and industrialists to install in the Gambia and then produce in the Gambia. And we also would want to structure our trading policies in a way and manner that is quite competitive and makes sense to locate in the Gambia and conduct your business and mount your factories than elsewhere, because like I said, to the fact that we have this Africa Free Continental Trade Area, choice of location would be determined by how competitive and how cost of business or operating a business is also managed. So so the choice of how much does it cost me to locate in the Gambia or elsewhere? And then what kind of support Lamuna and the government be in making a determination to locate in the Gambia or elsewhere? Because Bena Marcella. So Lola explain in our opening.
Thank you. One over there.
Yeah. Good evening. I am Awasane from Teladaf TV, and my question is, traders often complain of the increase of CFA. So I want to... CFA, yeah. So I want to know what is the Ministry of Trade doing in order to regulate the CFA exchange rate?
I think that question is for the central bank. It's a monetary policy issue. I don't think it's a trade issue. If I'm correct, Honorable Minister. Is that question for you for central bank about the CFA?
CFA is a currency issue, and central bank, as far as we know, continue to say in the Gambia, the dollar is the legal tender. But it doesn't mean other currency cannot trade in the Gambia. Is it trading? Yes. So because he's saying the CFA is increasing phenomenally, and there is a cause for that, and there are reasons for that. I don't think we have the time to delve into that. But I just want to emphasize, FICI Gambia, dollar will be more legal tender. And that's the one that the central bank recognized. That minune CFA, wala dollar, wala pounds, duñ ko fi jaay. Waaye nu fi mëna nekké moy né da nga dem pour wéccu ko ñëw ci biir marché bi nga jëndé nga transact in dollars. That is the but to the extent that I don't think all other currencies don't trade in the market except CFA. But like I said, that's a central bank issue, and the central bank position is very clear. Moine, the dollar remains the legal tender.
Okay. Hello, good evening. My name is Abu Wakar So. I am a recent master's student graduate in international trade. So I have a question regarding investment and industrialization. So my question to the ministry is, what sectors does the ministry currently consider the highest priority for attracting foreign direct investment? And what incentives are there available for these investors? The Gambia from achieving a higher export growth, and how is the ministry addressing this issue? Thank you.
Okay. Luckily, though, I'm Maximum Director of Industry. Mom su buggee mën na moo ñëw waaye question bi lu mu wane rek mooy ne sector priority for investment will remain our sector priorities, and also those that will invest in those areas will also be accompanied with incentive to support their businesses and to also support their investment in this country. Both foreign as well as local investors, pour ñu dem fofu nonu. And when they do, like I said, we will be providing them with SIZ incentive and all the supports that the ministry have, and making sure that their businesses prosper and become competitive also in the region. Now, with respect to, you said higher export growth. Higher export growth vis-a-vis what? The obstacle for growth.
Yeah,
can you explain?
The obstacles that are currently preventing the Gambia from achieving a higher.
Because for us to export, in the first instance, we have to produce enough for the domestic market and so also able to export. And that means the domestic is an export. But you also have to understand that you are exporting to an external market who also have sets of rules and regulations. And that's why, like I said, for example, I just mentioned about China, they have relaxed some of the controls that they have. And now they are allowing Gambian goods to be exported to China. That's a specific market. So also in America, through AFTA, through AGUA, they have been providing privileges to countries like the Gambia to reach the American market. But even at that, the regulatory compliant producer or industrialist will not be able to export to the market. Those are realities. Those are market control outside our own controls. But what we are doing from the exporters, but also maybe through so many number of measures that are available in our toolkits to making sure that we make the export as easy as possible and as much rewarding as possible. So it's a combination of consideration. But my primary responsibility is that instead of importing, bringing, let's produce here. And let's also produce enough regional market and international market with all the difficulties that we face there. Anything the government could do to subsidize, we will do. Anything the government could do to accompany those investors, we will do, whether they find like a tax incentive or anything else. But it's not a very straightforward and simple mechanism. It's a combination of a lot of things that have to be considered in making sure that we support our businesses and our industrialists in growing for our market, but also competing in the region and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you. Last question today, Haruna is happy because he wants to go home to his wife in Sukuta. And we are finishing early today. Thank you very much. Question? Quickly, please.
I would like to go in the local languages for our viewers out there. Assalamu alaikum, maa ngi nuyu honorable minister ak teamam bi nga xam ne ñoo fi nekk ak nguur gi nga xam ne man suma laajte li fi muy jëm rek mooy si béykat yi parce que soo leen suñuy wax jaay ak jënd béykat yi am nañ si njëriñ bu baax a baax ba nga xam ne di ngeen mun a dimbale béykat yi ba nga xam ne ñi nga xam ne ñooy ñëw jënd ci ñoom ñoo dee gën a am bénéfice dan ñoom ñi nga xam ne ñoo dee sonna di béy am jaar-jaar ko seetloo yéen tamit am ngeen wàll si ñoom lan ngeen mun a def ba ngeen xam ne di ngeen leen mun a dimbale asalaamaaleykum.
jërëjëf ministre bëgg naa tam am na ay bataaxal yuñ tegoon ci loxo trivi ngir càkkuteef ci liggéeykat yi ci biir réew mi lan nga ñu si mën a fàttalil beneen bi mooy buñ ne Ministry of Trade Regional Integration tey Gambia dañ bokk ECOWAS nekk member state waaye dañ xool ci biir réew mi lu ci bëri ci ñuy yëngatu ci wàllu njula pour ñuy jëli dara ci biti di ko dugal ci réew mi dañ ci am ay jafe-jafe pour ñuy génnee tamit seen ay yëf ci biir réew mi dañ ci am ay jafe-jafe loolu lan la ci ministre bi di jël ay jéego segam bokk nañ ci ECOWAS te ECOWAS am na luñ nangutoo ci loolu.
Okay.
Okay, thank you to those that are in commercial farming and also our farmers that produce in large quantity to sell. Now, at the level of the ministry, we work closely with the Ministry of Agriculture, and through the Ministry of Agriculture, they have the regional marketing federations throughout the country in each region, and they also have an apex body. So every season, particularly those products that we are promoting on a commercial scale. No, Minister will come and say it. No. Okay, so we import some products that we are promoting, especially those that we are consuming a lot, and we are also importing a lot. For example, once we use a lot of onion, and we are importing a lot, and we can produce it domestically. The same thing for potatoes and other agricultural produce. So what we are doing, the government has come up with measures to ensure that during these seasons, we limit the importation. And to ensure that farmers are able to get better prices, we do invite the marketing federation, the regional marketing federation. They have a tete-a-tete discussion with the importers at the level of the ministry so that we coordinate that process to ensure that the price that is determined is not a given price for the farmers. It's something that with the marketing federations. We also support in terms of capacity building of the association to ensure that going forward they are able to get capacity, to buy from their local farmers and then sell to some of the importers that that want to buy from them. So that has also helped in selling it to the imports. They are able to negotiate to get better price done. But we still have a challenges where buyers, you cannot prevent that also, go directly to the farmers and then buy directly, negotiate with them, and then buy directly. So what we are doing with the Ministry of Agriculture is to strengthen their regional marketing federations so that they can negotiate on the behalf of the farmers in the sales of their product. Thank you.
Yes, quickly, foog naa ndaw si lu mu laajte lu am solo la mu ne mbéy nu méttee lu tax traders yi mooy njulakat yi ak especially maybe cooperative ak ñuy jaay si marché bi seetlum ñoo gën a njëriñ ñoom la gën a njëriñ daan actually baykat bi moo feere yëpp lu moo am soo ko compare ñu nga xam ne ñoom ñoo koy jël di ko trade fii si biir réew mi ak si biti yóbbu si biti soo ko indiwaatee fii moom baykat bi lu mu la ko jaayee woon da ngaa gis ne xëy na soo ko waree jaayaat moom pour mu njëriñ ko dina dem si lu ëpp soo ko jëlee yoon si moom fukka yow yaa ngi ko jaayee waat xëj na si kanam tuuti da ngaa gis na tamit sax industrialiste bi nga xam ne moom it daf koo jëlee si pharmacie mun koo produce fii defaraat ko as an industrial product su nekkee mun na koo jaay la boppam si biti si marché bi si biti moom tam mooy gën si moom su ko mënu tamit keneen moo koy jëlee si moom muy trader si yóbbu ko si biti jaay ko da ngaa gi chain boobu noonu yëpp from the farmers to the trader to the industrialist, from the industrialist to the trader. Chain bi nu mooy demee si kaw rek ñoo la njëriñ bi di gën a yokko waaye loolu la government tamit xam moo tax ñoom ñuy taggeet nag pharmacie boo gisee ministre of agriculture si budget bi ñoom ñoo ëpp fuuf ministre of even finance si xaalis si budget bi loolu yëpp lu ko waral mooy ne dañoo taggeet pharmacie pour dimbale leen moo ëpp fuuf ñun lu ñoo am as a Ministry of Trade and Industry ñu mun a béy du benn sax loolu moo indi budgetary system pour dimbale pharmacie waaye lu nga wax dëgg la di moo ngay dem di moo ngay benefit soo ko jëlee si pharmacie daal force is the industrialist bi moom it su ko converté lam saa mun a am pharmacie amu ko bu ko joxee tamit traders yi tamit ñu suñ ko jaayee fii wala jaay ko si biir ñooñu tam ñooy gën a am lu gën a bari ñaareel bi media sport mu ne bataaxel usually submitted dëgg la media sport bu passé nii sax ñun receive nañ bataaxel on behalf of government waaye da ngaa gis ne bataaxel boobu tamit buñ ko jotee di laajte ndimbali government wala government lan la si ma def waaye loolu boo ko seetee ba saytu ko ba si biir dafa am warugali government mu am tamit warugali fédération mu am tamit warugali sport association si mu am tamit warugali even individuals because at lay soxlaam loolu yëpp nuñ ko tëggee si marché bi mooy ne jël yëpp ne ñun lii la ñuy laaj lii la ñuy collaborer si biti wala partners si nga xam ne ñoom ñooy support athletes in this country pour ñu mun koo toppatoo wala workers si dëkk bi because workers yëpp nekkul sax workers si government am na ñoo xam ne tam private sector la ñoo liggéeyal so nekkul loo xam ne rek ne waaw damay teg si table bi dóor si table bi li la soxla na am négociation la ak also whether or not tamit ñu ngi koy laaj ndax tamit am nañ mun nañ ko am nañ ko ndax luñ bañ a def la ndax defi na li dañ ko mut yooyu yëpp yu jar di sóoraale la commercial segment versus farming loolu laa doon rek ne it's the nature of business mooy ne rek ne the commercial segment and the industrial segment moo gën a profitable than actually the farming farmer support especially for onion potatoes and monitorium am na yenn jéego yi dee def tamit as government mooy for example for farmers targeting farmer support mooy isil leen maybe fertilizer bu ñoree dañoo wax ne lépp loo xam ne mu ko jégaane fii mun nañ koo am fii nañ leen téyel marché bi ba nga xam ne at least ñun Gambian pharmacie fii nii jaay nañ lu ñu war a jaay ñu ibi marché bi dangaa gis ne sax dañ ko dee assess su nekkee ne 2 weer 3 weer juróomi weer lu mu si mun a tombee rek ñun dinañ téye marché bi jamono boobu noonu pour for the benefit of the farmers loolu yëpp nguuram koy def waaye yëf yi daal noonu lañ ko tëggee noonu la demee daal naturally waaw baax na jërëjëf thanks
tàccu bi doyut de ngeen dimbale ma rek ñu tàccul honorable Mod Ceesay ak tiimam foog naa laajte am nañ solo tontu yi leer nañ waaye am na loo fi wàjj bi li nga xam ne jaaxal na ma lool nga ne soo demee si benn bitik ku ko jaayee ko 5 nga feneen ko ne 10 da ngaa dellu ki la ko jaayee 5 nga jëndee ko foofu noonu la def si ki ko jaayee 10 ba pare na ma dee nit ñi di wax price control foog naa ne tontu na loolu même leer price control daf di isi scarcity parce que ma su ma demee China ma jënd $10 ma ship ko 5 ma génne ko 2 ma fay pour ñu transport ko ma rent suma bitik bi ma fay ñi faa liggéey ma fay cash power moo ko jaayee 22 because ma profit margin $2 la government ñoo ne jaayee ko 15 foog naa ko jaay dama ko denca dama ko jaay parce que ma denca ko moo gën ma jaay ko mu lu soo la mooy price control free market moo am Gambia moo la wax ma dem si ki mu jaay ko 5 dem si ki 10 dama delluwaat si ko jaay ma jënd ko si ko jaay jëndee jaayee 5 bi ko jaayee 10 xam nga moo am nga fu ma ko mën a boole noonu na mun naa koo boole parce que su fekkee ne ñëpp si market bi ñu ngi koo jaayee 5 mooy normal price bi ki ko jaayee kooku sàcc la fan laa ko mën a boole si ministry bi war ngeen ñëw leeral loolu noonu et puis ngeen ñëw leer na tamit si cost of living tey Gambie ñu luñ dee def si subsidy pour mitiger impact benn dëkk defu ko si boo jënd litre boo jënd government am na lu mu se di tegal pour nga fay les soo jëndee cash power government am na lu mu tegal pour nga fay les béykat yi seen engrais seen njiw yëpp ñu ko subsidize maalo soo ko essayé doo fa dara bi yëpp subsidy moo tax tey Africa West Africa fii yëpp Gambie ñu ko gën a cheaple food basket foog ma ne am na because of all the subsidies the cost of living tey da nga ko importer inflation waaye di la gërëm tamit labor force employment because 2021 president launched the labor policy and the commitment was 150,000 jobs la ñoo create nañ 107,000 it means that 20,000 jobs lañ create more than the commitment in the labor force tàccu leen ko waaye loolu yëpp ay jéego yoo xam ne la liggéey bu rafet la boo xam ne dañ ko war a ak góorgóorlu ministre yi lépp ñu ngi ko achieve si dëkk bi nii kon ministre ñu ngi laa gërëm si liggéey bu rafet bi di gërëm sa team bi yëpp di leen jaajëfal bu baax a baax a baax a baax di wane tamit am nañ fi beneen gan bi nga xam ne bu mu ñëwee yaaga na tuuti waaye bu ma doon introduce ñëwutoon mooy Ami Bojang moom mooy director of press office of the president moom tam mu ngi fi ak ñeneen kilifa ñi nga xam ne ñoo fi teew tey di leen jaajëfal baax a baax a baax di leen nuyu di leen wax ne jërëjëf di jaajëf ak suñ partners yi fu mu toll nii almost 7 to 8 million ñoo nekk di génne li ko saamul kas di ko génne live noo leen fi toogee nit ñu ngi leen a seetaan ak partners ñi fi nekk ak suñ partners yi Asata Motors Q Group ak Bell Water Bottling ak ñi nga xam ne ñooy technicians yëpp di leen gërëm di wax ne honorable minister once more kontaan nañ trop di la sant bu baax a baax a baax suñ ministre bi ñoom Hadi suñ DPS yi ñoom ñëpp jàpp nañ si liggéey balaa ñoo ñëw fii tey JATS tamit def nañ liggéey bu rafet ñoo de lead production bi ñu leen a gërëm si njiitali Abdoulaye Sy di gërëm ñëpp nag di wax ne tey Mansa Kunda of Minister of Trade jeex na xam naa next week dinañ am beneen Mansa Kunda waaye balaa moo jot dinañ jébaane wax leen kan mooy ñëw jërëjëf.